Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And here in Australia, it is Friday, and I'm feeling good. We've got an awesome interview for you today. We have the Indigo Sunsets, and we are gonna kick off with a track from their new album. So let's get to it, folks. Let's rock. Oh, howdy do. What's going on, everybody? I forgot to put up my mic there. Good times. Welcome to the show. I'm really stoked today because, let's be honest, we've been waiting for this album to come out for a damn long time. It feels like a long time, even though these guys really haven't been recording music for a long time at all. In fact, a very short time, and for such a short time to be creating such amazing music, it's absolutely mind-blowing. So, without further ado, let's just cut to the chase and get these guys on. From the Indigo Sunsets, and that was from their latest album, The Comeback. Their latest, their first, their debut. We have Stu, Cashmore, and Andy Goldsby. Lads, welcome to the show.
Jade.
Hey.
Hello.
We've got it going. We have the technology.
We managed it.
Yeah, it's all happening. It was a mad rush before, but all good. How are you both?
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good. I'm excited for today. So, actually got my shit together for a change. So that's a good thing.
No mass morning
No,
man.
they're all actually. Hang on, where are we? They're all over there. All lined up together, so they're all having a rest. The masks. For reference, we set up the cameras the other night, and I got on cam with my bondage mask on just to freak them out, and because I look like shit, actually. So let's cut straight to the opening question that I want to ask you guys. What does music mean to the Indigo Sunsets?
Andy, you can go first.
Okay. I'll get the. I was risking probably sounding a bit pretentious here, but what music means to me is probably absolutely everything. Purely because it just binds people together, and you know, when you're out there, you're gigging, you're recording, as we found through the community, through things like your channel, Jade, Pete's channel as well. The community on there, it just means you're interacting with like-minded people. And you get to grow as a human, really, you know, with the relationships and the bonds and everything you make. So without music, I think life would be pretty damn dull. And I just adore it, absolutely adore it. I adore performing. Found a new love in writing now, and I absolutely love this guy here. Who obviously we've been kicking around with now for 20 odd years. I met you in 95, Stu. I've worked it out. 1995 we met each other. If it wasn't for music, me and Stu wouldn't have had all these years hanging out with each other.
Nice. Couldn't agree more. What about you, Stu? Music.
Depends how you frame it. I guess one is being the recipient of music, and the other one is actually how you make feel when you're either playing music or recording music. I was on Pete's show on a massive 90s chart. So I think I was 15 when Nevermind came out, when Barn and Nevermind came out. So I was 15 at school. That came out, and I remember God, what was the song called? It's going to leave me.
I think it already has.
Sweet Caroline.
No, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was off the Nevermind. It was off the Nevermind. It wasn't Tears. It was off the Nevermind album. Anyway, and it was like one of those angst tracks, and it was like wow, really sort of like all of a sudden I started wearing Doc Martens and walking around in satchels and stuff. So that was that one. And then in the early 90s, I think that was about 1999, something like that. Nevermind came out. So I was into that for years, and then. And then the Britpop scene came along the 1990s, came on the Stone Roses, Oasis, Charlotte, all these sort of like guitar bands, and it sort of shapes you, and you grow your hair like them, and you start walking around like them, and you just get brought into it, the whole feel of it, and then it becomes part of you. It's always been a really important part of my life. When I was growing up as a kid, my mum was a big Billy Joel fan, so I sort of know all of Billy Joel's tracks inside out, back to front. Big Bob Dylan fan. So just it's amazing. And then the ability to be able to take that and then play music. I mean, we've been in a covers band for years and years, and we'll go on to that. But and that's amazing, making people sort of like stand up and get excited about your songs, and then actually for the last 6 months to actually be able to record music and get people to get excited by it. People have some feelings about the music you create. It's just the biggest buzz in the world. We love it.
Definitely. Thanks for us answering that question. So we've got people in the chat saying there's an echo.
I can
fix that. Don't worry, it's all good. I can fix that. I can just go volume down there. I had a feeling. This is the first time we're doing multiple people, sorry, folks. So you'll have to bear with me while I work out the sound a little bit. But I think this should fix it. Let's just make sure. We'll turn that one up there. So sorry about that. Should be a little bit better. I'm hoping that should be better. Is that better, folks? Let us know, because, yeah. All right. So I think I fixed that. I'm sure people will let us know. There's not much I can do about it. If not, I think I've fixed everything the best I can from this end right now. But it's quite hard using OBS to get multiple cameras happening, so it's a bit of a effort. So anyway, what was some of the music that you both remember being played in your house growing up?
Piano Man, Billy Joel, over and over and over, and Piano Man, Bob. What a song! What a song that is, Piano Man. Just absolutely love it. So yeah, that always used to rattle through. The old man used to be into Tubular Bells as well, funnily enough, and yeah, that used to be ringing around the house all the time. Andy will be a bit different to that, I'm sure.
Obviously born in '78, so child of the '80s. So there was a lot of Dire Straits going around. Phil Collins, but I never really got into him. But also sort of hangover from my parents' youth as well. So a lot of Beatles, certainly a lot of Jimi Hendrix, The Who. Yeah, I actually started listening when I was sort of started picking my own music. I got into Elton John. Absolutely adored him as a kid. Still do now, obviously. So yeah, and then I think that just sort of, I don't know, moved me into my teenage years. And I don't think I really did the same thing as Stu. He was listening to Nirvana, and I think I was sort of stuck in the 60s. So I was sort of, Jimi Hendrix the whole time through the 90s. And yeah, that was kind of what taught me how to play and made me want to play guitar as well. But yeah, the music of my childhood is probably the music that stays with me now as well. So, not a lot has changed really. And yeah, I've just enjoyed the 60s feels that the parents gave me. Really. Great.
Lithium.
It's been a long day, Stu. It's been a long day.
Seniors moment over, folks. I should talk. I think I'm the oldest one here, so I'm the old duck of the group. So, actually, just talking about the different styles of music there, do you think the different styles of both your interests in music complement each other with your own music?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because I mean, Stu's already said he's a big 90s child, and he loves these 90s stuff. And funny enough, when we first started gigging, I absolutely bloody hated Oasis. I couldn't stand them. And he was making me play all these Oasis songs, and I used to get sick to the back teeth, but it would always end the first set with She's Bloody Electric every single time we would play. And about 5 years ago, I just had this sort of twang of nostalgia and thought, do you know what? I'm actually going to go and buy Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, and went back and had a bit of a bit of a reminisce, really. But no, I think between us, really, the clash of sort of cultures, my sort of 60s and Stu's 90s, I think we probably shine through more on the 90s sort of indie Britpop stuff with the stuff we've recorded. But I think it works. I really do, because I'm all about sort of wailing guitars and screechy little high notes and stuff like that, and Stu's about the jangly sunshine, which is but no, it works. It does work. Stu, shoot me down.
I think since we've been playing for 20 years and covering all different types of music, hey, look, we're never going to be the biggest thing in the world or anything like that, and we were never really going after anything. So we just wanted to try and go out there and write and do some cover songs and try and make it our own. But actually, when you get into learning the covers, you actually learn all those different styles as well. So you learn all your Faces and your Stones and your Kinks and the Beatles and the Who and all the way up. So, Andy sort of brought along what he wanted to do in the band with the covers that he wanted to play. And then I brought the covers that I wanted to play. And then because I was the lead singer, I got the shot. And then you just sort of work it out, and then you get your own sort of feel, and I think that's really helped with our songwriting. And we can sort of we're quite close in terms of the way that we think about music and the way that we want it to represent and the way that we want it to sound. We're big fans of bringing in big light and shade, and in a lot of our tracks, you'll probably notice that we get a lot of like drops and then bring it back up for like a crescendo finale, and that's just to try and make the recipient feel something and have a bit of one of them when they listen to the tracks.
Yeah. So what was both of your first instruments that you picked up to play?
Oh, guitar. That's it. That's all I've ever known. Guitar, 100%. Actually, my mum and dad tell this story. At Christmas, I'd asked for a guitar, and they bought me this shitty little plastic thing. And apparently I was like, no, I want a proper guitar. And my dad got a bit pissed off with me and chucked it in the bin, because obviously they really thought that I was going to enjoy this. So I was like, no, I want a guitar. And that's it. That's all I played. I've tried piano, and I got to a decent standard where I could play. But strangely enough, though, I've kind of got into, I'm thinking of taking up mandolin and banjo, that sort of thing at the moment. So, we're going to do a hillbilly track next year. We don't know about it yet, but we're going to write one.
Brilliant. Sure we will. Mine was the drums. I started playing the drums. I was really shit at it. I remember I was really, really poor at it. And I played in a Chuck Berry, I think it was a Chuck Berry cover band. We played a song called Long White Cadillac, and I just remember being absolutely abysmal. And then I wasn't really massively instrument minded through as a kid. I used to play football, or as you probably call it over there, soccer. So play football, soccer.
We actually call it wog ball over here.
Yeah, and they touch with their hands and all sorts over there, don't they? Said the farmer to his wife. And so I was more of a sports fanatic growing up as a kid, and then when the music scene came along, the old man bought me a Fender Squier, so I learned on my Fender Squier, and then that's how it all kicked off. Met Andy, and that was it.
Strangely enough, though, it was you doing sports that probably brought us closer together, because you knackered your knee up on a Sunday league game, didn't you? Years ago. Properly, absolutely. His knee just went like that, didn't it? And you were laid up for months. And that's when you really started learning to play guitar. Me and you just started kicking around because we'd got a similar love in music, hadn't we? Yeah. And we've been to a couple of gigs together. I think we've gone to see the Manic Street Preachers and Paul Weller when we were younger. That gave you, I think, the opportunity to start playing guitar, even though it destroyed your shot at starting up front for Aston Villa. What it did do was meant you could concentrate a bit on music. And to be fair, I think you've done all right there, Stu.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for your support.
Right. No, my pleasure.
Support from sport.
Yeah.
Have you, all right, so let's jump ahead a little bit, because I can. So talking about, picking up guitars, has it changed in the last few months of lockdown, your instrument abilities? Using virtual instruments and such?
Yeah, well, I'd never been massive on the piano, and all of a sudden I've learned how to play the piano and play. I bought an iRig. You can only go so far up the keys. You've only got about 16. How many keys has it got? I don't know, 30 odd keys, whatever it is. So I learned how to. I can play root chords and stuff, but I started to learn how to do that, and I bought that Ravenscroft app after someone said, so I spent more money after someone said buy another app. Sorry. Spend more money. So no, it's all right. So I've been using Ravenscroft on loads of tracks. So I've learned how to play the piano. I've learned how to wipe my fingers up and down my iPad to make a violin sound sound sort of like crescendo in the music and all that. Did you know that you could put two fingers on and three fingers on and I'd get different sounds? And all?
You can do it with all the instruments too. Yeah,
phenomenal.
So, 3. Can you do 4? I think you can even do 4 as well.
Cool. You get 4 fingers in there, can you?
My fingers are pretty stumpy, so.
It wasn't your fingers you were telling me you were using, Stu, to be honest with you.
Oh, dear. Yes. I'm surprised we haven't gone here yet.
Yes.
What about you, Andy? Have you picked up any other instrumental skills?
I think what it's done is actually probably made me think a little bit more about the end product, because I think when we first started doing this, I'd play something, and one thing Stu's very good at is telling me something is pretty shit and making me go back and do it again. And what I was doing was kind of record.
I use something called silent treatment. It's brilliant. It's quality. If you ever want to give some fucking quality feedback, just go quiet for a day. You know, so he'll send me something, and I'll be like that, don't know, and I'll just leave it. And but if it's quality,
where did you pick
I'll
that
be straight
skill
back.
From?
I don't know. It was more embarrassment not to say how I feel. I think.
I picked that skill.
No, he's been on some sort of David Brent management course somewhere down your career.
I picked that
mate,
skill up from my ex-wife.
No, he's right though. He's right, absolutely right. And I think that's what the process has probably showed me is, just to think more about the end product and what you're trying to produce. And we've learned so much. I mean, the drums, we just like lay down Logan and think, oh, that sounds all right. And then when we started exploring it a bit more, I think obviously from a lot of tips you gave, Jade, and we suddenly realised actually we could be a lot more creative with it. And strange enough, I played the album to a drummer friend of mine last night, and he was actually impressed with what we'd done. And I was like, oh, bloody hell, okay, we haven't got too far. It's a singer and a guitarist trying to put drums together. Normally we don't know what we're doing, and it's worked out okay.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this is the thing I find with GarageBand, right? And it's hard to explain this to people who already have their heads stuck up their ass about GarageBand. There's a lot of those people who, you meet and they're just saying, GarageBand, making music on your phone. It's like, oh, fuck it. I just want to punch them so hard. It's more than making, you get more than making music out of it. It is actually like a music teacher. What are your thoughts on that?
100%. Yeah. 100%. I think you've just got the ability to go back and listen to what you've done and tweak and play around with things, and then you might overmaster, and then going back to the drawing board. But you make a lot of mistakes, but the beauty of it is you can always go back and re-record or rewrite something you've just done. It does teach you, and the point is you get to the end sound, the end finished product, and even then you can go back and still tweak and still improve. And I'd say I'm listening to a couple of tracks on the album now, thinking, oh, I probably have done that slightly differently or whatever. It's been a strange 6 months. So I think what everybody's got to realise is in April, the closest I come to GarageBand was picking up my phone, opening it up, playing with the acoustic thing, going, well, that's shit, and putting it back in the cupboard again, And then when Stu said to me, "Oh, let's record something on GarageBand," I'm like, no, ain't gonna happen. I was one of them
jingly things.
yeah, exactly. And I was quite anal about it in terms of, I'd be like, oh, you can't record properly without miking up your amplifier and all that sort of stuff, and I'm wrong. I held my hands up and say I'm completely wrong, and this has been a complete revelation, and I love it. I'm addicted.
Yeah,
great.
It's a drug.
The turning point for you with the guitar was Scotty Borthwick, wasn't it? Where he said, "Get the what did he say? Get that plug-in. What was it called? MR 1599 7270 something from Membrane."
Still disconnected. What a joke. Unfucking believable, man. Hello. Are we back online? I don't know. Holy shit. I can't see the chat, so I don't know. Unable to connect. What the fuck?
We back on?
I don't know if we're back on. It looks like we're back live. I don't know. I can't see the chat, so
it says
the power just.
I can see you, Jade. It says you're on.
Yeah, it looks like it's. I think we're back live. I'm not sure. I can't see the chat, so I can't tell if we are or
Stu's
not.
on. It says Stu's back. That's all right then. Andy's frozen still.
I'm gonna add him into the call. Yeah, we had a total power outage. It was just like out of the blue. Andy, I don't know what.
Andy is frozen.
I'm trying to bring him back in now. So I don't know if it's screwed. Look, it could have screwed the whole interview. I can't tell if we're back on live or not. Let's add him to the call.
He's
wow.
Panicking he is.
All right, so people can see us. Wow. Fuck me dead. Holy shit.
Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Man. So
he's always late. He's always late, like his guitar playing.
I think it screwed everything I had set up here. So it screwed all my sources up. I don't know what. Let's see. I'll just make sure everything's working. Is the chat?
Oh, looks like everybody's back on. So hello everybody. Hello everybody.
What a joke. So basically, what happened there was our power went up. All our power went completely off here. So I guess I can edit this in post, really. I hope so. I think I'm going to have to wait for it to all go up later and then edit it down in post. So if you ask, let me just try and bring my chat up so I can hopefully see it again. Because it still says disconnected here. Open up chat. Oh, cool. It's back. There we go. Holy shit, man. All right, just...
My window is in your window, Jade.
Is it?
I'm sort of
I'm
encroaching in your
Yeah, I'll fix that. I'll put you behind me. Let's fix that. Let's move you down there. There you go. Now you're behind me.
Perfect.
Wow, man. So look, if you're still here, thanks very much for hanging out. We had a complete power outage here, which is like nothing I've ever experienced before. So we lost all of our internet. All the power went out. It was quite interesting. Fuck. Let me get all my shit back where it was. Holy shit. Okay.
I was on a roll then as well. Really on a roll. I'm going to be shit for the rest of the night, I reckon.
Holy shit. Let's say hello to the people in the chat. Seems though they've stuck by with us. Thank you all for sticking with us. I don't know who's still here and who isn't. So if you're still here, let us know in the chat. Bubba's here, I can see. Scott's here. Rick Lisk is here. Yeah, Bubba, chalk it up to experience. I can go back in post and sort it all out, chop it all up. So that'll be cool. It's just... the live stream's a bit of a mess. Alex Backus is still here. Deep Gravity is still here. Who else was here earlier? SM Borthwick was here. Tom Rochelle. I was just getting ready to say hello to everybody, just as everything went out. Who else? Barry Goldsby's here as well.
Barry Goldsby, I recognise that name. Actually, he is. I'll give him a name check here. Obviously, my father. He used to do a lot of stock car racing over here, and he raced from the 70s right up until the year 2000, and he was one of those nearly men of stock car racing. And name check him here, he struggled for all those years. And then the big boy goes and brings home the Graham Hill Memorial Trophy over in Ireland a few years back. So, yeah, much respect, Father.
What a champion.
Lovely man. He is, absolute champion.
Yep. Thanks for being here. It's good to have a champion here because I'm a loser. Really, after running this stream into the ground, thanks internet. So,
fucking hell, my dad's on as well. It's like a family
affair.
Oh,
yes, Stu's dad is here as well.
He is.
Actually,
all right, Dad.
Yeah, has Bob ever met Barry? I think I might have done. Yeah, they must have done. Hello,
all
Bob.
the bees.
Bob and Barry sounds like a shit 80s cartoon, doesn't it? Bob and Barry go to town.
Could be worse. Could be Neil and Bob. Right.
Where were we?
Got to be out now. Dad's in the chat.
Yeah, clean it up, lads. What's going on?
Yeah.
All right, so
My mum will be on it. Give it off now. My mum will be on.
Let me call my dad. No, let me not do that. No, that would ruin the stream. Right.
Oh, Alex Bacchus, bless him.
Beep, 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 beep. Absolute legend. We love you, Alex.
Song's gone down in history. Love that song.
This has actually turned out to be.
Sorry, Jade.
This has actually turned out to be far more interesting than any other interview I've done because of the stoppage. So that was half time, folks. We had a stoppage in play. We had a streaker on the field, namely my electricity decided to get nude. We were talking about GarageBand, so and look, both of you guys only really picked up GarageBand, in the last few months. Tell us about that journey. How did that happen?
I wrote chapter 6 years ago, and what happened was, God, what was happening now? Flipping heck. Oh yeah, lockdown. And obviously time to burn. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and reprise GarageBand and try and record some music. And so I YouTubed it. I just YouTubed GarageBand instruction or a GarageBand something anyway. And then I came across Pete's channel, and that was it. Honestly, it was like hours and hours and hours of just watching Pete's shows and watching all the tutorials. And I literally used to have my iPad each night on my lap, and just emulating what he was showing me, and then I just learned the whole thing. And then I put chapter 6 in, and then I recorded a tosspot video in my bedroom of me singing chapter 6, and then Pete played it on Your Music Live, and I was like hooked. And that was it. Then it was like no stopping me. And then I think I got hold of Andy and said, look, let's have a crack at this, and because obviously we could collaborate, and then we worked out how to do it across the airwaves, if you like, and that was it. Yeah, he then and Andy's a machine at writing melodies with the guitar and stuff, and so we did that, and he sent it to me, I sent it to him. I go silent on him for a few days, and then I send it back, and and that's how it played out. It was brilliant. It was awesome, brilliant.
Yeah, because I think what we were doing beforehand was we just to keep ourselves interested. We were doing these collaboration videos. I think everybody was doing it, but all we were doing was literally filming ourselves on the iPhone, sending the video clips to the other. We put them in iMovies, spend about half a day trying to sync it up.
Oh,
go,
fuck.
Yeah, that sounds all right, and then we'd stuff them on. I know, it was ridiculous. And then we started getting a bit more technical, and we did, what was it? Angel Bird Can Sing by the Beatles, wasn't it? Purely because it had all those 3 guitar parts. We put that together, and then we thought, oh, yeah, this is good. We were getting a little bit bored of it, weren't we? And then, obviously, you discovered the capabilities of GarageBand, did chapter 6. And I remember jumping on Pete's show to listen to, first time I was on Pete's show, to listen to chapter 6. I was kind of like, oh my God, actually, that sounds all right. And then they just took up from there. And everything else, so chapter 6 was pre-written. And One Day Be Gone, which is on the album as well, that was already something that I'd written previously. But every other song on the album has been written since May, hasn't it, Stu? Yeah. May, so we were writing something. We'd come up with a melody. I'd send it to Stu. He'd do the vocal melodies. He'd come back to me. I'd put the bass line down. Drums would go down. Then we'd go through the process of mixing, re-recording, until we can get it to a stage where we quite liked it. So there's only 2 songs on this album that were written previously. Everything else has been done since May. And we're still going. We're still going.
Yeah. I also think that it's really hard to collaborate, to receive some music from someone else. So Andy sort of like would curate something, send it to me, and he'd have an idea of what it should sound like and the melody and everything. But I would have no idea. So sometimes he'd put his vocal melody on it, or just do some out of tune, like and I'd receive it, and I'd have to mute out his dulcet tones from the recording, and then try and then take someone else's tune and then try and make it what it is, and that's really tough, I think. Right. So when we did Song Temper, that was a doddle, because you sort of do it all yourself and you piece it all together yourself. You've got the whole way that you want the structure of the song to be. But when you receive it from someone else, I think it's far more difficult to do something like that, because you're not sat in the same room. You just get the music, and then you have to then mess about with it and create it from there. So it's quite challenging.
Yeah, definitely. Because you guys, before all this lockdown crap happened, you guys are playing, doing covers and playing weddings and receptions and all that stuff. So you're used to, you're used to actually playing with people. So, this is a whole new thing. So,
yeah.
Are you missing playing live? Are you missing weddings?
Well, you know what? Don't dress us up to be a wedding band, Jade, for God's sake.
I said you came from that. So that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
We've got visions of us wearing matching suits, like sequin tuxedos, and playing Sweet Caroline. No. We actually pitch up at really nice, stately homes, and we're wearing our jeans and t-shirts, and boots or whatever, and all these people are dressed up in their, Sunday best for the wedding, and there's us guys just pitch up, and it's horrific. And we nearly got kicked out of, I won't say the name of the golf club, but they've got a really strict dress policy. We turned up in jeans, and they were like, "No, you're not coming in." And we're like, "Well, it's going to be a bloody quiet night tonight then, because we're the band." And they were like, So we. So yeah. But actually, now I'm talking, I'm starting to think the sequin jackets might be a good idea, Stu. So
yeah, they might be.
You're like the bad boys of wedding.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm just literally play the first half, and I've got my eyes on the buffet. That's it. I'm literally aching for the last song to finish, and
second
I'm over there like a shot.
We start the second set, and Andy's normally got some tomato sauce just like dribbling down the side of his mouth normally. And we played all sorts. We played we've played to one person and his dog at the bar, leaning up the bar. We've played mini festivals, played all sorts of stuff. It's been really cool, isn't it, over the 20 years? And if you don't mind us name dropping a couple of people as well, Jade, if you don't mind, we've played with the legendary Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. We've played a full gig with Rob Plant from Led Zeppelin. Some of our music's on YouTube with him, and we've got a couple of decent stories about that, haven't we, Andy? Because actually, neither of us were big Zeppelin fans actually at the time.
Now you are.
Would you believe? But I only knew Whole Lot of Love. That was it.
Did you tell him that?
That was it.
It was really scary, that, actually, because I got like the set list of what we're doing like 4 weeks before the gig, and I'm like, right, I better get my ass on YouTube, and I'm watching basically Japanese teenage kids in their bedrooms playing Led Zeppelin, trying to follow what they're doing. And then I have to go to the first rehearsal with it. I'm kind of like, how's this going to go down? And got away with it. But the funniest one, though, was because we did a couple of gigs with him. And the second one was at Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club, going back probably about 10 years now. And I'm petrified. I'm absolutely petrified. I've got a room full of people, and I'm just literally staring at my shoes thinking, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake, don't make eye contact with anybody, you'll get through this. And as I'm getting into it, I'm starting to feel it a bit more. I'm looking up and I notice over the other side of the stage, Stu is absolutely going for it with his acoustic guitar. And I'm thinking, I don't hear no acoustic. What is the guy doing? And I look across and he's got his standard E chord. Now, we're playing a song in basically C sharp here, but he's an E. He's turned his acoustic down and he's literally going for it.
It's a brilliant story. So what happened was, so we went round to Robert Plant's house, because he lives in the Midlands, Robert Plant. So we went round to his house to rehearse. We all set up and everything in one of his massive rooms, and he brought some cake in and all sorts. Real down to earth guy. It was brilliant. And he'd come in, right? He'd come into the studio with he had some denim cut off shorts, a pair of Adidas Gazelle trainers on, shit t-shirt, and a chocolate cake. And yeah, Robert Plant, unbelievable. So anyway, I had to learn the harmony vocals to a song called Misty Mountain Hop, and that just took up my life. Like, I didn't really learn anything else, and we had to play a full gig with the guy. So we got to the gig, right, and I did Misty Mountain Hop, and I think it was the first or second song. It's on my YouTube. I've got a song of it on my YouTube. I've got the whole song of playing with Robert Plant on our YouTube. Anyway, so we played Misty Mountain Hop, and I was like, "Wow, brilliant! It's done, sorted." And then we played a song called Trampled Underfoot, and I had not rehearsed it, right? I was nowhere near it. Still had my acoustic guitar in my hand, so I was like, bollocks. Turn the volume down completely on my acoustic guitar, and these boys played Trampled Underfoot, and I was giving it large in E. It was brilliant.
That's awesome. Oh man, how much of that cake?
Yeah, too right.
So
yeah, we've never been invited back, have we, Stu?
And we also played a gig with what's his face from Spandau Ballet? What was his name? Tony.
Oh my
what's his
God!
name?
Yeah. Tony Hadley.
What a tosser he was, wasn't he?
No, he was a lovely guy. He was great. He was great. But what I loved was he was singing before we went on, and we were sort of stood at the side of the stage, and they played his intro music, and he sat down at this function, and he's pretending he don't want to get up and sing, and he's kind of like, no, and then he gets up, strolls across the dance floor, and right, I mean, what a pro, absolutely what a pro, right on cue. He grabbed the microphone, leaned in, and started singing. I'm like, my God, I love the guy from that moment. And he was great with us. He was fantastic. I really liked him. He
said, we finished, and the end of the night we said, yeah, cheers, Tony, see you later. And he goes, yeah, cheers, lads. And it was the real. I didn't like the guy, but anyway, he goes, yeah, cheers, lads, nice one. And we put that on our posters. So every time we put our posters up, we would have Robert Plant said something like, great friends of mine, and Tony Hadley, yeah, cheers, lads, nice one, on our posters. It was brilliant. Yeah, it was good fun. Good fun, those gigs, definitely.
Oh, so God, yeah. But no, I think we've had a varied time in the covers bands. But yeah, Stu's right. You know, we then go back to playing, you know, one guy and his dog in a bar straight after that. But no, we've done it for years, haven't we? It's been our bread and butter really for so long. So stepping away from the covers and doing this, I think it's kind of give us a little bit more impetus. It's kind of reignited the want for me to create music, hasn't it? I don't know what you're thinking there, Stu, but I love it. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah. I think the cover stuff's probably come to an end a little bit. And we were speaking about this, weren't we, Jade, actually, a couple of days ago, that I think what we're really passionate about now is actually going out with the lads. We've spoken to the lads in our band and actually said, look, would you fancy playing our own tracks? And they're well up for it. And even hopefully they're not listening to this, but we'll hopefully change the band name to the Indigo Sunsets. And we've got 11 tracks that we can play right now off the bat, so we can mix that in with some of the covers that we play, some of the better covers, She's Electric and songs like that. And and then And then hopefully we can then start playing full sets of just our original material and just do something completely different, which we're a bit more passionate about.
We're going to come back to, like, we were talking about this, and you know my thoughts on it. I think you just should come out of the gates head on as the Indigo Sunsets with all your songs, because, and the reason too is because everyone's so damn hungry to go out and see music again after all this lockdown, and people are hungry for revolution and change, and now is the perfect time to be an artist, because I mean, look, people can say like this has been devastating for the economy and all this shit, but ultimately the world, I believe, needs a revolution, and the way the music industry was before COVID-19 wasn't going to help us get to a revolution. And the only time you actually have revolution on this planet is when the music's pumping and kicking it. You know, Woodstock was the last time we had a revolution with music. And this could be the moment that revolution happens with music. So you guys are absolutely positioned with your style, your sound and all that, I believe, to, especially where you are located, to come out of the blocks and smash the shit out of people's heads with your music.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Jade. Yeah, thanks, Jade. Thank you. I mean, it's always strange though, because when you start sort of pulling stuff together and you're never really quite sure how it's going to go down and how people are going to enjoy it, and you know, we've been a bit overwhelmed really, because we kind of thought it's been okay and we've enjoyed it, and then to actually see other people really getting into our songs, it's kind of like, oh, actually, we're producing something somebody actually wants to hear. So we've been kind of taken aback a little bit by the response we've had from people. Yeah, it's just spurred us on to do more. And we're certainly going to be creating a lot more now. And I think, yeah, we've seen the light and we're going to push on with the original stuff. And I just can't wait to start doing some of this stuff live.
Yeah, itching.
Yeah, you got to come to Australia.
Oh, damn right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. If we ever get out of lockdown.
We'll.
Yeah.
So let's play another track. You guys can get a glass of water or whatever and have a drink. I'll grab another drink. So, folks, kick back and we're going to play right now. We're going to play Raging Waterfall. Let's do that. So this is from the new album, and enjoy, folks, and we'll be back with you shortly. Oh, yeah. I've got to get my camera set up here. Oh, where are we? We want the iPad. Yeah, that's what we want. Let's do this shit.
I don't think I've seen this place before. It feels so familiar, now I'm not sure. The windows all steam up high and dry. I don't think I've seen your face before. You look so familiar, now I'm not sure.
Wow. It's definitely one of my favourite songs off the album. Pete Johns has said it is too. Bubba says, nice ethereal feel. Man, it's a killer track. There is absolutely no denying that. It's a killer album all up. Welcome back, guys. So, let's see, bring you back up here. Hello. And look, you guys didn't have the privilege there of, while that was playing, I got to watch these two guys on camera on Skype. They can't see me. Absolutely smiling their asses off, bopping out. These guys are so... You can just tell the joy in both of your faces. Rocking out, air guitaring away there. And I can tell you're really proud of this achievement. It's incredible. And it makes me, just sitting back here watching you two go off like that, I had the biggest smile on my face too, so...
I love that song. I absolutely love that song. And bizarrely, Stu, that was actually mainly developed by Stu. And he came up with 3 chords. And he kept saying to me, no, Andy, it's shit, it's just 3 chords. I'm going, no, honestly, we've got to go with this one. I was like, no, it's just 3 chords, Andy. And I'm like, seriously, let's keep going. And we just keep adding to it. And we dropped it down, brought it up. And that's probably one of my favorites as well. I do like it. As Jade probably saw on the video.
Willie Nelson would be kicking your ass if he heard it. It's only 3 chords. That man has survived on 3 chords.
Yeah.
3 chords are some of the biggest songs in the world, you know? It's definitely the case. So, getting back to the process, what is your process of collaborating over the internet with these songs? How do you go about that through GarageBand and using, like, can you believe it, if you're watching this, folks, and this is the first time you're hearing these guys, they made this album on these things, you know. So what is your process for those watching and listening?
Well, it all starts off with I'll come up with the bare bones of an idea, and I'll try and lay down enough guitar tracks to give as much feel of it as possible, put a bass line down. And yeah, you're right, Jade, I'm recording it on an iRig and an iPhone 6, exactly where I'm sat now in my conservatory.
Gary Hub special, we call that, don't we?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Gary Hubs is just an absolute Jedi Knight when it comes to using the iRig. He's awesome. And he's sort of reignited, and you, Jed, as well, reignited a bit of a hidden passion for metal in me, listening to the stuff you guys have been producing. So thank you both for that. It's all put down on my iPhone 6. I will then, because I can't file share because there's a bit of a glitch in iOS from the iPhone, so I WhatsApp what I can to Stu, and then he will share it on his iPad to a shared project over the cloud, and then we can both go in. And we just know then I'll go into GarageBand to check, and if it says last modified by Stu, I know he's clear, and I'll jump in and do what I need to do on it, and then we'll have a bit of a FaceTime talking about what we've done. Because since April we've only seen each other 3 times, I think, in person. Because of obviously with lockdowns, and Stu, bless him, he actually lives in Birmingham. I'm about 17 miles south of Birmingham, so the area where I am at the moment, we've come up with this really weird 3-tier system, and you guys have been put in tier 2, haven't you? Which is stronger lockdown measures than I'm under at the moment. I'm not going to be able to see Stu now until, by the way it's bloody going, it's going to be New Year, isn't it? The way things are at the moment. It's just a case of we'll WhatsApp each other, we'll talk to each other over that, we'll develop the ideas, and we've already got 4 on the back burner already for the second album, haven't we, Stu? We've just kept going.
You drive me mad, mate. It's like that. Fuck, I've done another one, Stu. Right, I'm trying to work. I've got another one. I'm trying to work. Piss off.
I love you too.
Yeah. We do loads of we do most of the collab stuff on FaceTime. So we'll hum melodies and stuff like that. And then when we have seen each other, actually, that's when we've been able to get some really good stuff out, because we've been able to really sit down and work through what we want the sounds to be like and what we want the melodies to be like. But loads of it's on FaceTime, and then Andy will put down most of the music, and then mine's normally 3 chord stuff, and then I've really got into Alchemy synth recently. I've tried some other synths and stuff, but I always sort of go back to Alchemy. There's some really good pads on there, and I think one of Pete's videos, he was talking about filling your sound and making the sound thicker, and it can transform a song. There's pads all over Raging Waterfall. In fact, there's probably pads on nearly every track that we've done, and we've never really come across that. But there's so many bands now out there that are doing things like that, like Muse and Andy's favourite band, The Killers, and Andy loves The Killers.
I've got to go now. I feel sick.
Yeah, but actually, you can transform a song, because that Raging Waterfall would have been 3 chords. I love harmonies, so I try and put harmonies on as much as I can. I'm a bit of a harmony freak, so I love putting harmonies on, loads of reverb, lob it in the mix, and see if it punches out. And the Stone Roses were masters of harmonies back in the 90s, and I just love that sound, and beautiful harmony soaring through the whole track. Love it.
Tell you what's a great example though of how we've collabed, and then there's a song on the album called Filthy Soul, and we were basically saying, I recorded all the guitars to that. I think I did that in one sitting with the bass and the 2 guitar tracks I did, and we left it, and we kind of like, it's just stumbling into the song, it's not starting properly, and we were FaceTiming, and I said, why don't we just, and I said to Stu, I said, well, you can play a D chord. I know we can.
Just about.
I said, just about. I said, play a D chord at the beginning and then reverse it. And he goes, what? I said, yeah, play a D chord at the beginning and reverse it. And he went away. And then within about 20 minutes, he come back and he's kind of like, bloody hell. And I'm like, yeah, we'll run with that. We'll run with that. So when people listen to that track, you'll hear Stu's triumphant beginning with that reverse guitar. And then the rest of it just cuts in. And that's exactly how we collabed. It was just that little FaceTime message. Off he popped to his little cinema room upstairs in his house. And there he was. He recorded that reverse guitar. And I think that starts pretty awesome, that song.
Yeah.
Pete Johnson's just written here, you need to record and release one of your FaceTime collab sessions. Yeah, I've never heard of anybody doing that before. And for those of you who aren't from the UK or Australia, WhatsApp is a really cool communications device that people in America have no idea what it is. We all use it around the rest of the world. You guys in America, you're so far behind.
Is it called WhatsApp in America?
Nobody uses it. It's called What's That? Yeah. Did you say What's That? Yeah.
What's up?
Anyway, we couldn't do that, Pete. Anyway, because we when we do FaceTime, we do it in our pants, so we wouldn't want to share that to everyone.
It's Stu's 5 o'clock treat. That's what it is.
There's a name for a song. 5 o'clock treat. Oh my goodness. All right, so what else was I going to ask here? God, I've been so thrown off today by losing that power, but that's a good thing. So what do you see for the future of this band? What's next? Where are you going to? You've said that you've got you've got more songs coming. That's amazing. So I guess
Well, I've been trying to follow the chat. And I know it's very early on. Pete actually said that next step is for us to turn into rock and roll tossers. So that's probably the next move.
Become the Gallagher, please.
But no, I've got to be honest with you. I was getting a little bit sort of. I love playing live, but occasionally you go into a pub and there's like 3 people. And you get no reaction from them at all. You kind of, oh God, what am I doing this for? By the time you've sort of, spent your beer money and your petrol money and all that sort of stuff, you're coming home with enough money for a Mars bar at the end of the night, and you're kind of like, why am I doing this? Don't get me wrong. If any of the other band members are watching, I'm not going to quit. Don't worry. Well, yeah, there's a lot of damn decent guitarists out there, Stu. Easily replaceable.
I could play an E chord, mate, and a B chord, so it's fine.
Well, what have I been doing for 10 years, man? You know.
I can play Rolling Stones. I can play some Beatles. I could do whatever you want, mate. No worries.
Make sure to turn up that E chord.
But. Yeah, I think the future, though. I think the future is we're just going to keep doing this. I love it, and while the ideas are still fresh and still coming from us, then we'll just keep recording. And yeah, I mean, it's just been an absolute revelation. I don't think I've enjoyed myself so much in lockdown, and it was quite a bleak prospect of sort of sitting around and not being able to go anywhere, not being able to see people. And we've kept each other sane, haven't we, mate? And what it's really done is just meant that we've been able to produce music that we've actually enjoyed listening to. I know that's not to sound pretentious or anything, but I think if we're enjoying it, then hopefully that's rubbed off on other people as well. And yeah, we'll keep going.
I also think that's quite a tough question for us because we didn't really set out with an objective. We didn't really set out to go, right, we're going to make an album and all of a sudden we're going to try and get it on the radio and also it just sort of rolled and happened, right? I did Chapter 6, we did Sirens, we did Roll Me Over, we did a lot, and then we just carried on, all of us. Then we were going to put an EP out, but just because someone on Pete's chat was saying they've released that and so we just thought, well, that'd be cool to get it on Spotify. And then all of a sudden, more songs kept coming. Andy kept bloody driving me mad, sending loads of different songs. And then by the time you're sort of almost at 11 tracks and you're thinking, actually, we can stick an album out here. So I think we haven't really thought as far as putting it onto this community and putting it on our own Instagram and ticking the bucket list of putting an album on and, just doing that for us and that we're proud of. We know we're not going to be the next rock stars or the next best thing, but, we'd love to get it out there. We'd love to see if we can get a reaction from people. I think that's probably the next step, to try and get it on some radios over in the UK and see if we can get some momentum with it. Because I didn't even think we were going to get much of a reaction from it, if I'm honest. And all my mates have texted me saying it's a brilliant album and it's really good, it's radio ready and everything. And yeah, we're really chuffed about that. You can get a bit mad, can't you, with the Facebook groups, and you can start plastering it on GarageBand users, start plastering it on create and record and release, and plaster it on your own. And all of a sudden, you're just pissing people off and just putting too much out there. And yeah, it's easy to do that, isn't it? Because you're so excited. You've done something, and it's so important to you, and you just want to. I think we were itching to get it out there, and because we've done it and created it ourselves, the anticipation and the excitement for the 6 months to get it out there, you just want people to respond, and I think that was really important. And I think the record release group was probably the best response in terms of what people were saying, and there was some really, people were listening to the entire album and then giving us some feedback after listening to the entire album. So and that's like unknown. Normally we'd do a track, stick it on Your Music Live, and everyone sort of like comments on each other's track. But to get it out there and to get it out onto platforms, we're dead chuffed.
It's pretty incredible I was thinking about this last night when I was preparing for the show. So I joined the GarageBand users group. For those of you who don't know what that is, there's a link to it always in the description of my videos. I joined that group a bit over 2 years ago. And, the group's grown exponentially. Pete's page, Create, Record, Release, has grown exponentially as well. But the standard of music just at the moment that is coming out it's fucking mind-blowing. It really is. And I'm going through my Apple Music collection last night, and I'm starting to find the majority of music that I'm downloading is all from these groups, and all these popular acts that I used to, the big names and all that, they're not releasing anything because I've talked about this on other shows. It's like all their energy's being sucked out of them. They don't know what to do unless you're a clever artist like Ben Folds or something like that, and they're all sitting there locked down going, no one's paying attention to me. I can't record from my computer. And so there's been this leveling, I think, of artists who've just stepped up to the plate and leveled up by 10,000. And you can really see it in these groups. And I'm sure not only our group, if we have these groups going on, I'm sure there are other groups that are the same kind of community is actually happening that we don't know about, where the same thing is happening. How's that momentum been, for you guys, for encouraging you guys? How have those groups helped you?
I think for me, you're absolutely spot on, Jade. You jump onto Your Music Live and listen to what people are producing. And some of my favourite songs this year have come from the community. A massive mention to Glenn Clark, his song he did for Songtember. That blew me away. That did. I loved that. For us, it's kind of strange. You're hearing all these fantastic songs everybody's producing, and people are enjoying our music. And to begin with, for me, it was kind of like, they're just saying that to be nice, or they're saying it to be pleasant. And then it just spurred us on to just continue doing what we're doing, and we've now produced the album. But yeah, I think the quality of music that's been produced by people who aren't signed, by people who aren't necessarily famous, is just tremendous. And I really hope you're right in terms of this revolution, and people who have been creating at home and doing what they do on their iPhones and their iPads or whatever do start getting a little bit of recognition, because the talent out there and the missed talent that haven't been picked up by the likes of bloody Simon Cowell on Pissing X Factor or whatever the hell it is around the world, there's some incredible musicians out there. You see it live as well. You go out and watch bands and you think, how are you not signed? How are you not making major money out of what you're doing? So I hope you're absolutely right. The ship sailed for us. I mean, Christ, we're both in our 40s now, and
that's not
it
true.
might be
Hang on,
very difficult. I'd say it would be hard for us, probably with the way the music industry is, to kind of break it. And I'm certainly not thinking or even holding any hope that's going to happen. But what I'm saying is, there are people out there who are doing exactly what we're doing, who are unbelievably talented, and these people deserve a massive shot. They really do, and they deserve people to hear their music. And I hope you're right, Jade. Really do.
I think I'm right. I think before you go, Stu, I'm definitely going to come over to you, because let's be real about this. The music industry is going to change. Everything is going to change. It already has changed. We aren't going back to the way things exactly were. Like, sure, there will be lots of things that go back to how they were. I do hope that the corruption and all that shit in the world goes down, and the music industry is full of corruption. These people constantly trying to find ways to suck money out of people, and history certainly does repeat itself, and revolution, as I said, has always had art behind it. The Black Plague has some of the most amazing art through the Black Plague. That's how they got through it. It's some of the darkest and most evil art you'll ever see. More brutal than anything like the Evil Dead movies, But it's some of the most amazing art, and the most amazing art always comes from dark times. And we are in dark times at the moment. So the industry needs a shake-up, and the musicians and the artists are always the ones who are the instigators of revolution. So I think it's happening. And, just one last thing, believing that you're too old, I don't think that's going to be a factor. I think gigs are going to change. I think there's going to be more online live streaming combined with live performances. There's a whole lot of opportunities there. So, for us, getting a bit older, like myself, I'm nearly 50. I run out of breath after singing 2 songs. I'll be thankful to do live streaming and different kind of shows. So what do you think, Stu?
I can't remember what I was going to say. No, just to answer your question about the community, I suppose. I think your channel and Pete's channel have been an absolute godsend to a lot of people. I spouted this one on Pete's channel, but without you and Pete, I think a lot of people on these 2 groups especially would have been a bit unstuck, I think, and through the pandemic and through lockdown and everything, and without focus and intent, I think some people would have driven themselves crazy. So when we stumbled across it, there's nothing better than being part of a like-minded group to share what everyone loves doing, and that's where you and Pete come in, and I think you're bloody heroes, to be fair. And that your music live is like just, I mean, it's so good, isn't it? Because it's such a balanced group that, you know, anyone can stick whatever it is. And the whole rule is there isn't a rule, and I love that. If it's an 8-bar, whatever it is, and it's just a load of plinky plonky stuff, it's still a creation, and it's still that person's music that they've created, and everyone celebrates it, and that is absolutely a triumph in my book. And so for me and Andy always talk about it, that, you know, to be part of it, we were most of the time before lockdown, we were either going to the pubs or we were, you know, rehearsing or playing gigs and stuff. And now it's tuning in 10 o'clock, Pete Johns, Jade, Starr, 11 o'clock, right? Hi, everyone. Hi, Gary. Hi, SM Borthwick. Hi, Russ. Hi, Pete. Hi, everyone. I'll try and get in as early as I can now, so I don't have to write everyone's name down. No, but it's ace, isn't it? I mean, it is. You must agree as well. You know, it's brilliant. The group's ace, and everyone's just, you know, a great crack. And you could just say, you sort of get to know people just from not even meeting them, and you sort of get to understand who they are and their personalities and stuff. And you know, hopefully everyone sort of feels as though they're friends in the group, and that's great. That is.
Hey, maybe when this is all over, we'll have to do we'll have to try and crowdsource a create, record, release garage band festival or something, and we'll
have to do like a live aid concert.
Yeah. Do they know it's Christmas? Create, record, release version.
Massive collab.
But you mentioned Pete Johns. It's pretty hard to go, you know, without any episode that even I do without mentioning his name, because, you know, I found him myself. And no matter how many years of experience I've had in the game too, he's been an incredible experience on me. I guess to find the guts to get up and do a show. Because what do I know? I just have my experience from, you know. But I did an interview last night for my MEtheist EP on this radio station. And my favourite part of the interview, I didn't listen to it till later last night, was that I got to say that more importantly than releasing music these days is knowing that I get to do a show every day, and I get to like talk a bunch of shit, and out of it, people are actually creating things, and not so much as being thanked for, but seeing people blossom is just, it's been an evolution for me to just be able to give that much. And it just makes me want to get up each day. So thank you for the mention. I love doing it. I love doing these shows. I love giving amazing artists a platform. So let's get into some apps. So we'll start with you, Stu. Do you have 5 apps that you go-to apps that you can't live without?
In terms of
that
music,
you use to make music. I need to fix your.
So not like YouTube or anything like that.
Apps from the App Store. I mean, it can be anything you want. I've got the App Store open here, so I'll normally bring them up.
I think Ravenscroft is at the moment probably my number 1 go-to app for piano. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a superb app. I've used it for quite a lot of tracks on the album actually, but you have to really listen. Most of the tracks quite heavy guitar, so you have to listen quite hard to that. But this app's brilliant, isn't it? In terms of the sound that it can replicate, it's on a different level. I mean, the stock GarageBand one's pretty cool, but actually this one just notches it up a level, and it really does replicate that sound of a classic grand. It's beautiful. And what's so good about it as well, I can play my left hand, record that, and then stop. Then I can record a middle hand and stop. So I don't have to play a piano properly. So that's a bonus. So yeah, normally put down the bass lines first, and I'll put the top lines down. And yeah, it's brilliant. And that's brilliant. What else do I use from GarageBand? Would obviously be the number 1. I wouldn't be able to live without that anymore. But
it's a given, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, it's really strange, isn't it? Because I started trying. Crunk's probably one. So Pete put us onto Crunk. I started playing with the Nembrini and I couldn't quite get the sound that I wanted. So I've gone to Crunk a couple of times now, and I think it's called Crunk. Is it?
I'm trying to remember how to spell it.
Yeah.
If it's with a C or a K. There it is. Crunk. There it is.
That's it, yeah. So that's that really replicates the sort of sound that we're after, that sort of that grungy indie, and it's good because you can really play about with the settings on that as well. Andy's going to say LumaFusion, so I won't mention LumaFusion. But you know what? I've gone from using all of these apps that I've sort of bought to coming back to the stock stuff. So like, I downloaded loads of synths. I downloaded, I think it was called Minimoog. There was another one. I think you've got it on your iPad actually. I can't remember what it was called. Something too. Anyway, but I've gone back to Alchemy Synth. All of those on there. I started using LRC5. I've now gone back to the standard EQ on GarageBand. I tried. What's that mastering app? Audio Master, I think it was called, and I haven't tried Final Touch Pro, but I tried the Audio Master and then went back to the mastering through GarageBand using a peak limiter. so I've sort of gone to sort of buying a load of apps and then just coming back. So can I just say GarageBand?
Yeah, of course.
Right. There it is. That's Audio Master. I got mixed results from that actually. It seemed to. I think it has. You can scroll across. You can have different presets, and it gives you 3 levels of mastering. So it gives you one which is like a tame, a medium, and a full-on one. I couldn't quite get the feel that I wanted out of the compression and the feel from the track. So yeah, resorted back to the peak limiter, unfortunately.
Good old peak limiter.
Half the time though, half the time, if you mix it well, you sometimes don't even need to master the thing, right? And you know, if you put compression on a load of the other tracks and bring each bit up, and you know what have you, and half the time you hardly need any compression at all. So yeah, that's what I do. Slap a bit of peak limiter on it and mix it down and master it, and off it goes.
It comes into if you can mix the songs and they sound already sick when they're mixed, you really don't need to do much when you're mastering. It's all in the mixing. That's the most important thing. The mastering is just like some sprinkling on top just to give it some boost for Spotify and Apple Music these days. It's a bit different than when the Beatles were doing it. Yeah.
Oh, I have got one. Stereo Lag.
Yeah.
Stereo Lag.
Yeah,
what an app. Stereo Lag goes on everything, by the way. Sorry, on every vocal that I put on.
Stereo Lag Time. There it is. Yeah, it's a killer app.
Yeah.
Does it cost? Or is it free?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Probably cost
free.
me knowing you.
It's free, yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. Yeah. I only know that because every time I go into a project, I can tell when he's been buying tons of apps because he goes, "This isn't installed on your device. This isn't installed on your device." I'm like, "Great, I'm going to download a load of apps now." So I have Stereo Lag. I don't use it because you use it, mate. So.
Yeah, you've got when you collab on the same track on the same song, you've got to have the same apps, haven't you? In your banks, that's interesting. I might buy one of them 50 quid ones and really stitch you up, mate. What's
you've cost me a fortune, mate. Honestly,
buy that $999 one and just get a refund.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
I think straight away we've already mentioned it, the Nembrini MRH 810. And I only know that because I've got it in front of me now. But that's probably the closest I've got to my live amp that I use. Probably the closest sound I can get. And one for the guitar players. I mean, as you know, tones in your fingers a lot of the time. When I'm playing live, I don't go through loads of effects pedals. I just literally have 3 amp settings that I use. And then I'll try and get the tone I need from just variances in how I play. And I've translated that a little bit across to GarageBand as well. And the Nembrini apps allowed me to do that. So, that has been an absolute game changer for me and has kept me going through the recording. So absolutely, the MRH 810 has been fantastic.
Man, I wish I had the money for it. Look at it, $31 here in Australia.
Well,
in Australia, though,
actually, in fairness, No, I hadn't. It was like a little birthday present off Stu. That was. He sent me I know he sent me a gift card and goes, Andy, you need this. I was like, oh, bless you. So thanks, Stu.
There you go, mate.
No, not that afternoon. No. Come on, it cost him 20 quid. I had to be naked.
Yes.
Moving swiftly on, I'm going to talk about Tonebridge. Now, I hated this. I hated it to begin with. I thought it was a complete and utter gimmick. And because I just looked at it and saw all these band emulators you could have on there and didn't notice you got your own workshop section on it. And then when I discovered that, I was like, oh, my God, that's amazing. Tonebridge has been absolutely fantastic, and I've really enjoyed not so much using it for recording, I've got to be honest with you, but, when I get a little bit bored, I'll just sit there with my phone. It saves me dragging my amp all the way out to the conservatory to play now. I can just plug myself in, put my headphones on, and then play around to my heart's content with the Tonebridge app, which has been great fun. And then Stu mentioned LumaFusion, and I know it's not really music creation, but we're going to try some videos, mate, aren't we?
We are.
Now, we haven't done, I think we did one promo for the album, which I stitched together on LumaFusion, and I loved it. My holiday videos now are looking at Hollywood blockbusters thanks to LumaFusion. It's been fantastic to use that. But Stu's actually gone out, and Jade, you're going to be dead impressed with him here. He's gone out and bought green screen.
I saw.
I sent it up. I sent it to Jade earlier.
I showed it to my flatmate.
Yeah.
So,
It's so cute. Can I show it?
Can if you want, yeah.
Man, I love my tits off.
do.
You look so well pleased with it. You're just like, look at this. Look what I got. I'm so happy.
I went on your show and I was like, oh, I fancy a green screen. So I went on Amazon and I got one. It was only about 15 quid. And I thought, and then I watched last night's episode and it's dead easy, isn't it? Oh, there it is. Look at me there.
You're like, look at me, I'm bending over. Hello.
Look at me in a prison.
I love when you touch
it's like a prison
flame.
cell.
It's like, look at me, look at this. I'm just going to grab the flame. Oh, God, I've got a notification. Typical. Oh, man, I giggled my ass off when I got that.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun with that. That's quality.
So, it'll be a bit of collab video production now, won't it, mate?
Yeah. So I mean, LumaFusion's brilliant for that, isn't it? For the green screen stuff, dead easy as well to use. It's wicked.
Like it amazes me that they can do it, and it works on an iPhone as well. It's just.
Yeah.
I have a prediction. I can see Andy getting a green screen soon as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll. Then again, I'll just end up filming myself on on Hawaii Beach or somewhere like that, not doing anything too.
Route 66 bursting out a massive guitar solo.
You got to do Superman. That was the first thing I did. I laid on my little table.
Oh yeah.
With the little air conditioner on in front of me, blowing my cape. I'll never show anyone that. I'll never show anyone that shit. What else you got, Andy?
I think again going back to Nembrini, I love their delay. The AR delay, and I'm an absolute sucker for putting just a tiny bit of delay on guitars, and I think that one's just absolutely fantastic, and I love using that. I've just noticed in the chat as well, Gary Hubs. Matey, it's I know I said Tonebridge was gimmicky, mate, but honestly, you use it to absolute perfection, my friend. And if anybody needs a lesson in what Tonebridge can do, just go and listen to Gary's stuff, because it's just bloody awesome, mate.
I was amazed too, because I've been a fan of Tonebridge for ages, even during the dark times when it wouldn't work in GarageBand properly, and there was a whole lot of fuck arounds with it, and it never used to have you couldn't fuck with the settings, but and I loved it then. And God, the day when they released that update where you could actually go into the tones and add amps, holy shit, it was better than my birthday when my friends bought me a blow up torso.
Pete used Tonebridge on his track, didn't he? The New Beginning. He used Tonebridge for his guitars, didn't he? That one.
Sound. Pete took ages to get on board, and you know he admits it too. I would say him all the time, I'm like, dude, just download it. It's free, you know, it's free. And it was so good to see him use it on his latest track, because you know it had a Pearl Jam kind of sound. He just threw that Pearl Jam tone on, didn't even have to touch it. Beautiful.
Yeah, I did my Song Timber track, Never Leave Me. I think after the first day, I had 24 views. After Pete's first day of his, he had over 1,000. So I was delighted. I mean, the man's a genius.
Cambridge. I haven't used it for a while. I use Bias FX too. It's kind of taken over my. I think because I spent $100 on it. When you actually lay out that kind of money, you feel like you have to use it.
Yeah, some of the in-app purchases are ridiculous, aren't they? So what you can spend on some of these, that iSymphony, I think. Oh, that's ridiculous in terms of how much that costs.
Costing you like $250, I think. But I think about it, the usage that you get out of it, and you know, this is I still feel bad complaining about stuff like that. But if you think about that kind of same app on a laptop, you're looking at $1,000. You know, those things are still way more expensive. We still have it a lot easier on iOS.
Yeah, you can't believe the sound that you can get out of an iPad or an iPhone. I still can't believe it. I would never, before lockdown, before this all happened, I would never have thought that we could reproduce anything like that. What we're producing now, it's incredible, really. The sounds, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's just sad. There's still so many people who are haven't caught up yet. I've said this story a few times. I was in the US and I was at a gig, and my friends introduced me to this producer guy, and they fully introduced me, going, "Oh, this is Jade. Jade's making an album on iPad." And the guy looked at me like he wanted to cut my stomach out and stand on it, and he's so dismissive, and he wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the night. I felt like I had cancer or something around him, and he was for anti-cancer, and it's like, Jesus, what did I say wrong? And then I heard his music about a week later, and fuck, it was shit. Oh God, he made some shit music. It's always the way though. These gearheads, they're all like, "Oh, I have all this gear," and you just go, "What are you making?" And it's horrible.
Yeah, yeah, I know, absolutely. People just don't get it though, do they? You know, they think the iPad. You know, they would never look at an iPad. Most people wouldn't look at an iPad and think that's, you know, you can do studio creation, you know, and studio professional content on that. They just wouldn't, you know, all of my friends in the UK, when I speak to them and they say, "How have you done it?" and I've said, "I'll do it on an iPad," they're like, "What? You done it on an iPad?" Yeah, so they just don't get it. Yeah, I've spent a fortune, but yeah, I've done it on an iPad.
All right.
No, it's right. It's completely right, though. I mean, you know, I didn't believe it to begin with myself. You know, when Stu said use GarageBand, I'm like, yeah, all right, ain't gonna work. It's been a complete and utter revelation, really has. And I think it just goes to prove, because it's the music. I mean, yeah, we're very proud of what we've done, but just listen to what everybody else is producing on the same gear. You know, he's just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And let's hope we're spearheading that revolution. GarageBand take over the world music, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. There is some killer tracks coming out, isn't there? I like Scott Borthwick's track, Strawberry Toast or whatever it is. I mean, that's just absolutely genius. Gary's tracks, Glenn's tracks, Tom Rochelle's got an album out. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. Bacchus with his beep song. Yeah. Alex.
Oh, we love that. We love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. And another great thing as well, it's just a joy to hear different types and styles of music as well. Shows how diverse and how varied you can be with GarageBand as well. I mean, we just plug our guitars in and hope for the best. And we listen to some of the technical achievements people are coming up with. It's fabulous.
Yep,
love it.
It sure is.
Yeah.
So you guys have a album launch show coming up. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
So it is in the UK. It is Saturday night at 10 o'clock, and I think in your world, Australia, I think is that 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday.
That's the time I normally start my show every morning. Yep. I'll be up.
Oh, that's right, because I email. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so it's. I think Pete's got his show first. I'm not sure which one it is. It might be the Q&A, or it might. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's directly after that, which hopefully people will jump across. So we've pre-recorded all of the tracks, and then we've also pre-recorded me and Andy chatting through each track in between each one as well. So we've had a bit of a laugh with it, and hopefully people will come and join us and just have a bit of a kick back, listen to the whole album, and get involved in the chat.
Yeah, we'll both be in the chat, won't we, Stu? We'll be sat there in our pants Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, chatting with everybody, and hopefully everybody can jump over after Pete's show and listen to the whole album if you haven't listened to it yet. There's 11 songs on there. The premiere, I think it's 57 minutes long, isn't it, Stu? And it's got little interspersements of me and you chatting away, sat here in my conservatory. But luckily, that's literally only just about 1 minute worth of bullshit between the songs. But we'll be there chatting with everybody live in the chat down below. So hopefully everybody can make it and join us.
Awesome. There is a link to that in the description. So at the end of this, go and click on it and set a reminder for yourself. Do the right thing. And if you haven't already, there's links to all the guys' social media. So Instagram, Facebook, the YouTube channel to go and subscribe to that. Also, there is a link to song.link, which you can get their album now, start listening to it, and you can get it on, all the usual places, Spotify, Apple Music. I think it's on Amazon now and all that jazz. So it's definitely all there. So click those links. Make sure you do that. I'll ask my final question that I ask everyone, because I always know what there is, and it's not a hard one. Lads, when is the best time to start making music?
Ooh.
I'll answer this. I would just say now. So if you're thinking, if you're on the edge or a little bit nervous about creating, or if you haven't quite got the gear or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can have next to nothing. I mean, look at Andy. He eats out the gutters half the time, so he can only afford an iPhone. But look, my advice would be is just if you've got a passion for it, and if you've got, for example, an iPhone with GarageBand, and I mean, GarageBand can walk you through an absolute beginner all the way through to being an absolute expert with music creation. So yeah, my answer is just go for it, do it now, go for it, and you'll love it. It's a massive buzz.
Absolutely agree with him. Apart from me eating out of the gutter, Stu, honestly, you would kill for a conservatory like mine, mate. I know. I've seen you around here eyeing it up with me plants.
But nice plants.
I said plants, mate. Plants.
Oh, plants.
Sausages
sorry,
and plants and goldfish.
Plants. All right, mate. Anyway, moving swiftly on. No, to answer Jade's question before Stu so viciously defamed my character there. Best time is absolutely now. If you feel it, pick it up, do something. And this is what I say to people who are thinking about playing guitar, because I get asked by parents whose kids want to learn to play guitar, and it's the same answer I get then, is that they're expecting me to say, oh, you've got to practice, you've got to pick it up and do 4 hours a day. And I'm kind of like, no, if they want to play it, they'll pick it up and they'll get the most joy out of doing it. It's the same with creating music. If you get the feel for it, that's exactly the time to do it. Just pick it up. And it doesn't matter if you do something and you never, ever use it either. It's just keeping your skills honed and going out there and just being creative and just seizing the moment. And Yeah, we've loved it. Absolutely love it. And I hate it when I'm away from my guitar and away from the iPhone and I can't record something. And certainly when I've got an idea in my head. So, yeah, just pick it up when the moment feels.
Spot on, 100%. Well, I'll ask you guys to stay on the line while I play the last song. So thank you, everybody, for being in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Sorry for the technical issues. I'll be having a word to my electric company. Time to get fucked after the show. And we're going to go out today with the track from the album Where Did It All Go Wrong? That will be the final track. And thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for coming on. Sorry for the interruptions, but what I'll do in post, we'll edit out that little bit and we'll sort it out.
Can I just jump in and say thanks very much to you personally as well? You know, I think me and Andy have both had a chat about this, and it's people like you who get people out there and get people creating, and what you do with the instructional videos is one thing, but also the support that you offer in the groups and actually going out of your way to helping and listening, and you've helped me loads of times, as you know, as well. So a big wholehearted thanks to you, and for featuring us on this. And as I said earlier, we didn't anticipate making an album 6 months ago. It was just one of those things, and all of a sudden we get this help from these people, and it's like, and it creates it. It really does. So yourself and Pete. So massive thanks from me and Andy to you for 100% for helping us design the album and get it out there in front. And I'm sure the people in the chat should hopefully be nodding their heads as well to say a massive thanks. Yeah,
thank you.
Huge.
The pleasure's all mine because you give me pleasure with all your fantastic music. Everyone who supports the show and all that stuff. So thank you very much. And folks, get this bloody album into your guts and bang that head, and we will see you all on Sunday my time, Saturday for the rest of you who live in the past. Let's bop out to this final track. This is Where Did It All Go Wrong by the Indigo Sunsets. See you later, guys. Stay on, mute your mics, and I'll catch up with you after the show. Oh yeah, let's do this shit right now if I can get my shit together. Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Thanks, everybody. Keep doing the things that make you happy, and I'll see you next week. Adios.